someone doesn't know it, but we're gonna go to the vet in a bit because someone is going to get snip snip. And I am feeling a whole mix of anxiety and guilt, mostly guilt. I'm so sorry. He has no idea what's gonna happen. Yesterday was as normal, you know. You shouldn't fast them. So eat hay as normal and drink water as normal. And now he's just resting. I'm gonna give him probably another 15 minutes of sleep time before we leave. Oi. Oi. Cute boy. Where are we going? You have no idea. We're on our way to the vet. Hello, sir? Tara? Hey. So I just kind of want to give an update on Taro's situation right now. It is the next morning. I dropped him off yesterday to get neutered, and then he had the operation in the morning. They observed him throughout the day. The vet that I brought him to was very kind. Like, they have one person in charge of him and just monitoring him throughout the day, you know, his vitals, etc., etc. And they said everything went well. He woke up like a few hours afterwards, roughly around like 2:30. They gave me a call and said he's up, you know, he's alert, he's a bit groggy still, but like he's awake, you know, which is, you know, a huge relief. And they said the only thing that was a bit concerning was that his heart rate dropped a bit after the surgery. So his heart rate was normal throughout the pre-surgery, throughout the surgery, even like right after surgery, it was fine. But like a period after that, it became like less normal. So if you don't know, a bunny's heart rate, at least according to my vet, says 200 to 400 are the heart rates that they've seen. Online, I've seen people say like 180 to 350, 320 or something like that. So anyway, in that range. But Taro's heart rate had dropped at one point to 124. And they said that that's not normal. And but he was still alert then and moving and responding and, like, you know, active. So, and took syringe feeding fine. And so they're not too sure what caused that. Last night I called them again roughly around 6 to just kind of follow up on how he's recovering and everything. And around 6 they said that like, you know, his heart rate is doing better. They gave him medication to kind of bring it up, so it was sitting around like 180s or like 160 180 range is what I think they said. Anyway, after that, the last time you could call them is roughly around 8 o'clock because their phones go off by 8:30. Although the texts will, like, there will still be people there until a few hours after that, like a couple hours after that. There still will be people there taking care of the pets and the little animals. It's just like the last kind of like interaction chance, I guess, or last time you could check up on your fur fam before they close for the evening. So I called roughly around 8, and at 8 they're like, well, the medication wore off and his heart rate has come down a little bit more. and that was roughly around 160 was his heart rate, which is not like really concerning, but also still lower than, you know, either the internet or the vet, what they were saying. So I was just like, okay, you know, a little concerned. They said that I had two options. Either I let him stay for the evening, and they said that they don't see it being very very concerning. He's active, he's responsive, he's alert, he's eating a little bit by himself, all good, like all good signs. And so the other option is if I wanted to pick him up at night and, you know, bring him to a 24-hour ER. Now, what I really like about this vet and why I brought him to this vet is it's only for exotic animals, which means like birds, rodents, like rabbits, like prey animals, kind of, you know? So there's no large animals in there that would stress them out, which is, you know, I know there are like definitely like dogs and cats get along with rabbits, but like not all dogs and cats get along with rabbits. And it just makes more sense for animals who are technically prey to like be in a place where all the animals are technically prey, I feel like. Anyway, so I don't want to bring him to a ER, like a vet ER, and it have dogs and cats and all other possible predators to stress him out further. Even if they're friendly, I just don't want to put him in that situation, especially post-op. So I'm like, I asked the nurse there, and I was just like, what are your thoughts? Like, do you think this is very concerning? How is he behaving? Is there any signs of concern? She's like, there's no real signs of concern. He's doing well. He's eating a little bit by himself, not enough yet, but that's normal. They're syringe feeding him. They're watching him, making sure everything's okay. And I'm like, more anxious at this point because I'm like, please be okay. And so I'm like, okay, I thank them. I asked if it's possible that they could give me one more call, and they said, like, you know, if anything happens, they will, but otherwise, their phones stop at 8:30, and I respect that. Like, every business has its routine and has its, like, boundaries or guidelines just to make sure that everything can run smoothly, right? If they said okay to calling me back, and then, you know, other people start requesting it, then it pushes their closing time further and it takes away their time from the animals that might need their attention. So I get it, and I'm okay with that. I thank them. I'm just anxious, you know. Like, he's healthy. Like, they did the blood work prior to doing the surgery and, like, tested his organ functions, and everything was fine. So I wasn't very concerned, like, going into this situation. I'm just much more concerned after, like, the whole heart rate thing came up. So anyway, around 9:30, I get a call, and I'm so grateful because the nurse is just like, we normally don't make the call, but I know you were really anxious about him, and I just want to tell you that there's good news that his heart rate elevated by itself up to like around 180s. And I'm like, oh, that's wonderful. And she's like, yeah, he looks fine, he's fine, there shouldn't be, you know, she doesn't feel concerned for the evening. And I was just like, I was so grateful to her. You know, I'm just glad he's, like, it's going in a positive direction. So I called back this morning because I was expecting a call for an update, because they did say that might be a case, like they might call to just let me know how he did overnight. Ooh, sorry. Did not get that call, started getting anxious again. Although, like, the logical part of me was just like, if anything happened, they would have called, but like if they didn't call, that usually means like it's fine. So I gave him a call, and they're like, no, he's good, he's awake, he's alert, he peed really well last night, hasn't really eaten too much by himself, but that's normal for the morning after of the surgery, and hasn't really pooped yet, but again, that is normal as well. And I was just like, okay, great. They just gave him a round of medication. They are syringe feeding him just so that he gets enough nutrients, because he's not eating by himself. Like, they're making sure he's getting enough nutrients. and then another round of medications later this afternoon. And then I'm going to pick him up, I think, roughly around 6:37-ish. And then hopefully get him home okay. I just want to keep, like, document this kind of journey and also share the experience for anyone who is, one, thinking about getting a pet, because this is a decision that you're going to have to make, especially if you get a bunny when it's young and not neutered. Like, do you neuter him? Do you not neuter him? That decision's up to you based on whatever research you've come across and the people and the professionals you talk to, and just, you know, your own thoughts. My thoughts were that although he's a boy and the research behind getting a boy neutered doesn't seem as beneficial as females getting spayed, because it's much safer for females to get spayed due to reproductive organ cancers and whatnot. It's lower in males, so it's not like a huge benefit in comparison, although it does still eliminate that possibility. And then second of all is, I do eventually want to get him a friend. Currently, it's not financially, nor is it just like, I'm not able to provide the type of life for both of them that I can provide for him alone right now. Like, I could give him a higher quality of life right now because he's the only bunny, versus if I get two bunnies, his quality of life will decrease. And I don't want to do that to him. So I'm gonna hold off on that. But because I'm holding off on that, and he's already 1.5, so we already delayed this surgery due to me moving states. Because, like, I'm trying to think because he's getting older and I can't get him I'm not getting him a companion just yet. Once I do get him a companion, he'll be much older, and the neutering surgery gets more risky as he gets older. So I'm like, okay, I plan to get you a friend in the future, so I might as well have you neutered now, so that when that happens, one, if I get you a female friend, I don't have baby bunnies running around, because they repopulate fast. Yeah, their gestation period is much lower in comparison to a lot of other animals and pets. And then second of all is that he will be most likely will be less territorial, less problematic in that sense, less aggressive, you know. And then also for him right now, I saw him go through like heat or mating season craze, like the hormones, you could see the hormones flux up, and he was just humping everything all the time. And I was just like, it just didn't, he seemed frustrated. Like, I don't know if you could tell if a bunny's frustrated, but he seemed frustrated, and he's a chill bunny. So I was just like, I don't want to put him through that, like, you know, whenever the season hits. So there's that too. Anyway, depending on your thoughts with your pet, you could decide what you want to do there. But yeah, just thought I'd update real quick about his whole situation. I'll keep you guys updated later on whenever I get another update, or when I go pick him up, and then we'll follow the journey from that point. So I just called to check up on Taro, and he's doing fine. He's munching on hay now. Hasn't pooped yet, but they said that that's not a major concern. His heart rate sounds good. They're about to give him second round of medications for the day. And then, yeah. And then in the meanwhile, earlier, head and cleaned out his space. So what that means is I removed anything that could be humped, except that. That is still there. Yeah, otherwise, everything has been removed. He hasn't really been doing anything to that. I want to keep it in there because he is like a comfort thing to him. I might remove it. I'm going to ask the vet before, like, deciding for sure. Otherwise, everything has been swept, cleaned up. I have his litter box outside and his water bowl right here. Water bowl I'm gonna wash and fill with water again. Litter box I might bring with me on the car. I'm gonna go pick him up right now. It's 5:55. His litter box I actually put inside. We bought this thing because we were gonna walk dogs, but that ended up not happening. So now we have this as an extra layer of like cushion and insulation for him. We removed like the thick kind of pad that was originally in here because I didn't want him to hop out that easily. So now his litter box is in there that he's had since he was a baby. So familiar sense. I just put fresh hay inside. It's lined. There's the box, and then I bought this, the cone of shame, for him, and then he's gonna be wearing this, so he stays safe and not licking where the incision was. But yeah. So we are at the vet. This is the vet that is taking care of Taro currently, called Island Exotic Veterinary Care. Hi, Bud. I'm so glad you're okay. Oh, good boy. Oh, good boy. Oh, good boy. Stay inside, please. Stay inside. We don't want you to accidentally do something to yourself that you shouldn't do. Oh, I'm so glad you're okay. Okay. We're gonna go home now. He's okay. The doctor showed me his incisions, gave me medication for him, and we're gonna see if he's gonna be okay. Hopefully. He just got his medication tonight, so that the next medication will be, first one will be like 8 hours from now, and the next one will be a little later than that, 12 hours. Someone's finally home. We removed everything in the end from the pen other than his litter box and his water, because the doctor said that the castle could cause him to jump and then open where the incision is glued. So what's it called, we removed the castle as well. And he just got home. I think he's still gathering his thoughts and processing. Are you okay, baby? Are you okay? He just got his medications before we left, so we don't have medication issues until tomorrow morning. And we've gone through medications before, haven't we, baby? When he was like a baby, he had parasites from his mom, so we had to give him medications for like 10 days. And, you know, we kind of know what to do in this situation. So, no cone of shame for now. They said he was really good. He didn't try to go for there at all while he was at the vet, like go where the incisions were. And this will allow him to eat his Cecotropes whenever that happens. This was the hay that I had on the car, so he didn't really eat or go to the bathroom while on the car, which is fine. He normally doesn't eat much on the car. And it was only like a half an hour drive. So I'm gonna continue watching him and see how he does. That poo is from earlier, not now, because this is where the castle was, so I guess I missed a few. So he hasn't pooed yet. But we've only been home for like 10 minutes, so he's still getting resituated, probably wondering where all his furniture is, and just understanding that he's home. Right, buddy? Hey, bud. Good job. You did so good. You did so good. Such a good job. I just checked where his incisions are just to make sure that nothing on the car ride did anything. Good boy. Good boy. Handsome boy. Okay, he doesn't like the cone at all. However, he started like grooming that general area or like reaching down there. So I got a little bit concerned. I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'd rather he be annoyed at me than anything happen to the decisions. It was a little difficult for him to get to his hay. So that's why I went ahead and removed some out of the box for him just to make it easier for the poor child. But yeah, so he's munching on some hay, which is wonderful to see, especially post-op, you know. But yeah, the flower looks beautiful on you, Taro. All right, I'm gonna not be annoying. Keep munching away, but. So next morning, he has had his medications. I checked his incision spots. Everything looks good. He did poo. I haven't cleaned yet because it's way too early. It's like 7. So I didn't want to interrupt my other family member sleeping. But I will be cleaning and vacuuming up his poo in a bit. But I think he's napping. I think he learned to use the cushion, like use as like a pillow, which is quite funny. But like also effective, you know. This way he doesn't have to like fully hold his head up. You can just rest on there. Oh, buddy. So he has to take medications for like 10 days. We'll see how today goes. I think he drank water, but he didn't drink much. I don't know if the ring is stopping him. It shouldn't be. But we'll see. Literally put hay outside of his box so that he could reach it easier. But he insists on starting on the part that is still in the box. Sure. Whatever floats your boat, buddy. He settled into it a bit more. Pun unintended, but kind of works in this situation. Oh, buddy. I do love you. This is for your safety. He's not amused. He's very not amused. Sweetie, I know you don't like it, but I promise it's for your own good. Please don't hate me too much.